Well, what's up, my fellow adventurers? Welcome back to Living the Grand Adventure. I'm Kevin, and I'm out. It's second weekend of January. Well, almost. It's actually the middle of the week. It's January 7th right now. And I'm looking to do a little bit of cold weather camping. Not quite winter camping, I wouldn't call it, because, of course, I actually missed a snowstorm here in Ohio by about 2-3 days, unfortunately. But I'm out. Kind of a birthday trip for myself, and I just thought, oh, I'll go out for my birthday. My birthday's the 9th. I'm gonna stay 2 nights. Head home actually on my birthday, that way that I'm home when everybody gets there and we get to celebrate my birthday together. But for myself, I'm coming out and doing this, and it is the first trip. Welcome to 2020, guys. New season of Living the Grand Adventure starts today, guys, and I'm really excited about it. It's been about 2 months since I've been able to get out. We had a couple of things happen in the family. Really some nice, cool things that are really great. If you follow my Facebook and possibly on my Instagram, you'll actually probably kind of know what's going on there. Yeah, so during Christmas break, we were actually planning on a couple of different trips that we were going to do. Unfortunately, those didn't happen. The kids had about 20 days off. The first weekend of the Christmas break, we decided we were going to go out, and Alex and I kind of talked it over. We decided to kind of just stay home and spend time with the family before, Christmas and everything. And then I had a little bout of flu in between Christmas and New Year's, which is another time we had thought about going out. So unfortunately, we weren't able to do that. And then this past weekend, Alex and I was planning on going out again, and she ended up with a sore throat. So we weren't able to do anything. Had that itch to get out and get a little trail walking going. So I'm back down here at East Fork State Park. Did a couple of trips back in the summer here. But I thought, this is a little bit of a place I'm kind of familiar with, and we're going to try out some cold camping. It's supposed to get pretty cool, possibly the low 20s. Whew. It is really muddy right there, guys. I guess that's what happens when you have a snowstorm followed by a nice rainstorm. But we're gonna make our way into here. So I've kind of got my eye on a campsite that I noticed the last time we were here. It's up off that creek that I showed you guys. I'm gonna try to get into it if it's not too muddy and camp there tonight. And then from our original trip to East Fork last August, we had talked about trying to get over to Site 2, and unfortunately never made it that far because of time constraints and things that were going on, and bad information on All Trails showing that it was only 8 miles to Site 2, and it's actually about 12 and a half. So I'm gonna try to wing it and get over there and camp tomorrow night. But as I'm making my way through here, it's pretty muddy. Finding some nice shortcuts around all the mud though, so it's not so bad. And of course, this is what the trail kind of looks like. Yeah, it's definitely the dead of winter. Even though it's not too bad today, it's comfortable right now. It's well, when I got out of the car, it said 41 on the thermometer there. My phone says it's 42 in Bethel, which is the town that's nearest to East Fork. So, not too bad weather. It'll probably get into the mid 40s today. Now tomorrow, the high is only supposed to get to about 37. So tomorrow is going to be a nice chilly day. But I'm prepared. Have thermals, wool socks, poofy jacket, toboggan, everything. So shouldn't have a problem. But this should be a pretty fun adventure for the next couple of nights, guys. I'm really looking forward to it. Nice little area. I really do like East Fork State Park. I posted it when I put the video up and said it was a gem in southwestern Ohio. It really is. I mean, it's, like I said, one of the few places you can backpack and actually do a fire, and it's a pretty area. I mean, and it's kind of neat because I'm coming through here and I'm actually seeing, like, when we come in August, it was the dry season, and everything was dried out. All these creek beds were dried out, and now they're flowing. They've got some water in them. I mean, I know when Alex and I was here by ourselves, not the group trip, but by ourselves, the first trip we come in, we were worried we weren't going to be able to find water, and it's definitely not going to be the case on this trip, because I could filter if I had to out of that. I probably really wouldn't want to, but it would be an option. I mean, it's flowing water. Definitely get, of course I've got the Sawyer Micro, so shouldn't have no problem filtering. But I'm hoping to get over here to this larger creek, and I'd kind of like to camp near it. And then of course get a ton of firewood for tonight, because I'm doing steaks over the fire again, guys. I have fresh veggies. That's another reason I really don't want to hike too far today, because I probably have an extra 3 to 4 pounds of food on my back, because I decided I wanted fresh food for tonight. And I knew, half mile, quarter mile, whatever it's going to end up being, hiking today wouldn't be that big a deal to carry that. But now tomorrow I'm looking at probably, if I make it over to site 2, probably 5 to 6 miles. And I definitely don't want to be carrying an extra 4 pounds. It's been a long time since I've done some winter camping, and this is going to be pretty true winter camping, short of snow. Because I went out to Brookville. My last trip was in November. It was November 3rd and 4th, I believe. And I saw some cooler temperatures. But I think the coolest temperature I saw, because I only did an overnighter there, I believe I saw 35. So I'm definitely going, tomorrow the high is supposed to be almost that. So that's definitely going to be interesting. All right, guys, I made it to site. Only had to hike about 3/4 of a mile to get to where I wanted to be for the night. It's actually this little embankment. I don't know if you remember. This is the creek that we crossed a couple of different times last summer up this big hill here. Yeah, I talked about a site being right here. Well, the little fire ring's here. Put my tent over here. This is where I'm gonna stay for the night. I really don't want to lug the extra 4.5, 5 pounds of food I've got on my back that I could take off tonight and eat, on further out. I did debate going on out to site 1, which is another 1/4 mile. It's no big deal. But I kind of like the idea of being right here at the water for the night, because I can filter up, have plenty of water for tonight. I can filter in the morning, enough water for tomorrow and tomorrow night. And of course, that'll put me carrying a little bit extra water than what I've got now, but I'm gonna have a whole lot less food to hike that 5 miles over to site 2. So I think that's what I'm gonna do for the night. I'm kind of happy with this. And it's 11:30. I've got plenty of time to get wood and just kind of relax for the day and enjoy being out in the woods. So it's kind of what I wanted to do this trip. Like I said, basically just kind of celebrate my birthday a little bit and enjoying it. And not being out for a couple of months, it's just nice to be back out, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of clear the area off a little bit, get some of these leaves and some of these sticks out of the way, get that fire pit completely cleared out real good. And then get some of this stuff set up. And once I get some of that done, or as I'm doing that, I'll check back with you guys, and we'll see how this trip goes, guys. I think it's gonna be a good one. It's supposed to be good weather. Beautiful blue sky right now. Not a cloud in sight. So I went ahead and got site completely set up pretty much. A couple odds and ends left to do, but for the most part I'm set up. It's about 12:30. Took me less than an hour to get everything set up and ready to go. Even have my bear bag set up just a little ways over here. I'm not too worried about bear right now, especially in this area. More rodents and things like that. Typical, Ohio. Got the fire pit kind of cleaned out pretty good and got around it. I may push that back a little bit further down there, but it's a good start. And got everything kind of stowed away where it needs to go. Everything's set up for the night. I am going to go ahead and start getting firewood here in a few minutes. I'm trying to find maybe a log or something I can drag over here to sit down. Really don't want to be sitting on the ground the whole night. Yeah, if I have to, I guess I will, but I prefer not to. Might scout up this direction and see if I can find just, something I can lay down here and, maybe get at least 3 or 4 inches off the ground. Other than that, yeah, pretty good to go. Might go ahead and do some lunch. I'm a little hungry. I haven't ate since about 6:30, 7 o'clock. So a little hungry, so I might go ahead and stop, boil me up some water, get some tea, and I've got some, I got like 1 helping of instant mashed potatoes. Has about, I think, 12 grams of carbs, and of course the rest of the night I'm carb free. So Might go ahead and do that, get some calorie intake and get some caffeine flowing, kind of wake up a little bit. Been up since about 4:30, so yeah, I'm kind of a little tired here, but that's okay. I'm not really stressing it. As long as I can get enough wood to last the night, which there's tons of downfall through here, and a lot of it, like right over here, it's not on the ground, so it should be decently dry. Got us all set up with the Monger 2 again. Did double up my sleeping bag. I have the 40-degree sleeping bag with my summer sleeping bag, which is rated at 50 inside of it, so I should be comfortable, I think, this trip. So we'll take a look and see how that goes. Well, I did stop and go ahead and get some lunch, doing those potatoes, and I did go ahead and fix a cup of tea. Took about roughly 12 ounces, well, probably about 14 ounces of water is what I kind of heated up for it all. And it's going to be pretty good. I already had a bite of the potatoes. They taste pretty good. It's Monterey Jack. It's the Idahoan, instant potatoes. It's really good. I think I'm going to like those. And then I've got vanilla caramel tea, letting that just simmer. Once it's ready, I'll be drinking on that, get some caffeine going. I did go ahead and get a few pieces of wood to start with. Mainly what I was doing was looking for something I could cut up and have as a seat, because I didn't bring my chair this time, and there was nowhere really to sit at this campsite. So I just found a nice size log. Kind of tested that saw, that Savin saw that I showed you last video, and I cut this piece. At least 8-9 inches in diameter. It took a little bit of finessing. I had to work around. I cut half in and then went to the other side and cut the other half in. But I'm able to get nice sized pieces of wood now. Unfortunately, this was the only solid piece that was on that particular tree that was down, and the rest of it was kind of rotted. So I wasn't able to get any more off that. But I have a few pieces here right now. I'm gonna scout up this direction. I believe I might be able to find some more downfall that I can actually use, because I went up this way and most of it's either new downfall and it's still wet from the season, or it's on the ground and it's rotted, so that's not going to work. I know this is a pretty popular campsite. Anytime I've been in here, I've seen someone at it, so I figure they kind of pick through it really well. But like I said, I just kind of wanted to relax tonight. If I get a fire for 3 hours, I start at about 6, burn it till 9, I'm cool. I'll just go in the tent, play on the phone, go to bed, rest. Like I said, I've been up since 4:30, so I'm not really stressing it. Tomorrow I'll probably want to get a lot more wood to actually be able to really enjoy the night. It's kind of interesting. I'm sitting here, I'm up against this tree in this site, and I'm overlooking that creek, which out that direction is Site 1. I can actually see Site 1 shelter from here. I didn't realize it was that close. Of course, the trail does zigzag up through there and probably adds a little bit of length, but really, looking at it, it's probably on about, a tenth of a mile away. Honestly, if I yelled and somebody was in Site 1, they could hear me. No problem. So that's kind of interesting to know. Future reference. But the day has turned off really nice. It's sunny. It's actually, it's not hot by any means, but it's warm. I'm sitting here with my thermal shirt on, I got my overshirt on, and I have my buff around my neck, and then I've got my hiking pants, and I'm comfortable. Of course, once the sun goes down, it'll get cool, I figure. Quite a few birds out. I believe I saw some look like hawks or maybe even falcons. I'm not sure what's in this area. I'd have to look it up. I'll pop it up right there and let you know what it possibly could be. But they were over this direction, just kind of flying around. And then, of course, I've seen some crows. And other than that, I haven't really seen much wildlife. Of course, this time of year, you're not going to see as much. Maybe a deer in passing, or maybe a squirrel that peeks its head out, if it's warmer. Now, interestingly, I really did not expect to see many people. However, I've actually already seen 3 trail runners and a hiker come right through here, and I was really surprised by that. And I'm actually watching Site 1 now, and I'm pretty sure there's someone over there camping, because I've seen them walk back and forth in front of that shelter 2 or 3 times now. So that's interesting that there's actually someone camping up in here as well. I never would have thought January 7th on a Tuesday that you would see that many people up in here trail running, hiking, and possibly camping. It's really interesting. I kind of figured the place was kind of popular with locals, and it definitely seems that way. I'm telling you guys, come down here and check out East Fork. It's a pretty nice area to backpack, especially if you're in Western Ohio or Yeah, even Kentucky, because if you're coming up from Kentucky, through Cincinnati, come to here, you wouldn't even have to go through Cincinnati. But if you're coming from that direction, um, you're talking an hour in, and you could be here in backpack. It's nice. I mean, I'm really enjoying it. So, and this is my third trip here, so it's kind of cool. But I'm gonna go ahead and eat lunch, get me some firewood, and get settled in for the night, guys. Definitely a popular area. I just had another gentleman come through. He's hiking. He's backpacking in. Said he'd never been here. Was asking some questions about the trail, how far Site 2 was from here, which is about 5 miles from here. And he had a little puppy with him. It was a Cocker Spaniel, but it had black and white. So I'm not sure. It probably had some type of mix, but it was a puppy. It wasn't an actual full-grown dog just yet. But they were out here, so I think he said he's going to try to stay at Site 1 or somewhere in that vicinity tonight. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's already someone over there, because I've seen movement 2 or 3 different times now, even since I was actually on the phone last time. So yeah, like I said, and he come in, and of course he was loaded down. I was like, I mean, he's carrying probably about as much as I carried beginning of last year when I wasn't sure about how to do this stuff. So of course he had the puppy, so having the dog, you do carry extra equipment, so that could be why he's carrying quite a bit more than me. But yeah, real friendly guy, and yeah, I would think he's out here vlogging as well, doing YouTube, because he had quite a bit of camera equipment, a couple of different tripods, and like 2 cameras. Like one was a DVR, camcorder type deal, and then he had an actual like Canon camera. I haven't had a chance to invest in a Canon yet. That's my next big buy. Hoping to get one sometime this year and be able to step up the game with the video. But right now, the GoPro and the Samsung still seem to be doing pretty good for me. It's taken some finagling with learning how to edit to make those look really good. But yeah, I've actually just been relaxing. I decided to kind of take about a half an hour to 45 minutes just to sit here, and it's really peaceful. Besides the visitors coming through, which I really don't mind talking to people. It's fine. And but really peaceful. I mean, I do hear some cars in the background, but it's a state park, you're going to do that. But you can hear the creek down here where it's a little bit higher, where it's coming into the wet season. It's kind of nice just to hearing that trickle. Kind of reminds me of Red River Gorge and some of the places where we've actually stayed right beside the creek like that. It's kind of interesting. It's definitely really peaceful. And now it's warmed up. There's a lot of birds out in the distance. But yeah, Site 1's right over there, but I'm actually seeing something over here too. I think there's a structure over here that I've never seen before. It's crazy. Things just be hidden in the woods that you never see because of the overgrowth. You come out there in the winter, you see a lot more. But yeah, I don't know if you can tell, the sky is brilliant blue. I love being out on days like this, and it's supposed to be like this both days I'm going to be here, so I'm really excited for this. But I'm going to have to get started getting done eating here, get my lunch over with, so I can because I've got to get some more wood. I have enough maybe for 30-40 minutes. That's not, I won't even be enough to cook dinner, so I gotta get on the ball. I've been kind of like looking around to see if I can see some stuff that's dead but standing, that's tipped over, just hasn't hit the ground, and I actually see a few pieces out this direction I think may work for me. There's actually a nice piece right there, maybe one even a little bit bigger over there, so should be able to find some stuff. It's nice to be on trail again, guys. Being off trail for almost 9 weeks has just really been kind of a drag, but doing the stuff that I've had to do with the family has been very important, and it's been just fine. I've actually to be honest, the 3 weeks during Christmas was a good 3 weeks, so hope you guys had a good Christmas and are having a great new year. And let's look forward to 2020, guys. It's a little after 3 now. I've got pretty much all my firewood processed. Just got to get a little bit of tinder. Got all my kindling ready. So I should be able to get a good fire going tonight. Got my grill built. 4:15 now. I've got all the camp chores done. I mean, everything's taken care of. Anything I'm not going to use for the night is stowed away. Got my saw and axe and everything put up. Do have quite a bit of wood, I believe. I mean, I think I'm good for a good 4 or 5 hours tonight, maybe even longer. Got my grill set up, Put my steaks and veggies on once I get the fire going. It's actually starting to get chilly already. The sun is starting to set a little bit. We had some clouds starting to move in. Not expecting rain, just enough to kind of, the clouds went across the sun and it kind of got dark, a little bit dimmer. So it kind of cooled off real quick when that happened, and there has been a breeze that's kind of picked up. That's definitely made it kind of chilly. I really hope that the breeze does not continue through the night, because that will definitely probably put me in bed a lot earlier than what I was planning. I'm shooting for like 10, 11 o'clock, like normal when I'm on trail and got some miles I want to do tomorrow. I did, luckily I brought my Swiss Army knife. I have a nice one that I got offline. Jenny actually got it for me. Well, I think I actually bid on it on eBay, but she was the one that picked it out for me to bid on. I think that's how it went, because I've had it for 2-3 years now. But it's a real nice one. It has a lot of the implements and stuff, and it has a pair of scissors on it that I keep really sharp. They kind of double as a pair of toenail clippers if I get on trail and I'm having a problem with one of my toenails. Yeah, I was having some trouble. I thought I clipped them really good before I left the house last night, and no, I missed a corner on the ring toe of my right foot, and it was really starting to get sore. I changed over to my camp socks, the comfortable pair I normally wear. I normally have 2 pair when I'm on trail. I hike with 1 pair and wear another pair, which these are a little bit thicker and they're wool for the cooler weather. But as I did that, I noticed that toenail was kind of bent and it was digging into the skin. I said, yeah, I got to clip that. So I got in there and took these scissors and clipped it, and now my foot feels really good. One interesting thing I have noticed over the last little bit, I figure it's probably where I've been a little bit more lax and not exercising quite as much as I was. Definitely not on trail as much. I have a pull or something going on my left side in my hip. It's right below my buttock, and I'm not sure what that is. So I hope that don't continue. I may have to look up some exercises and maybe some strength conditioning. It could be just where I've been sitting on my rear end too much here lately, guys. Like I said, I had quite a bit of stuff going on during Christmas. Actually, even before Christmas, before Thanksgiving even. Basically, I'll go ahead and let you know what actually occurred, because eventually you're going to see it on the channel, I'm sure. Probably sometime this spring or summer. I actually became a grandfather. A young grandfather, or I would think, early 40s, but young grandfather. So my granddaughter Rain was actually born just before Thanksgiving in November, and I've been helping my daughter kind of acclimate to that, her and her boyfriend, and I've been helping them out with the baby and such. And of course we had the holidays that fell right in there too, and like I said, we actually did have some trips planned, and between Lexi getting sick and then, well, I was actually sick first, and then she got the sore throat, probably just a little bit of a strep throat or something like that. It just kind of precluded us from being able to get out during Christmas break. So it was just a series of events. My granddaughter was actually born 4 weeks early too. She was due, I think it was December 18th, and was born, like I said, mid-November. So yeah, that was another thing. So we definitely were, she was a preemie. She only weighed like 5 pounds. I think it was 5 pounds, 8 ounces. So she was really tiny. And, I definitely was there for that. And I mean, I even had a trip planned just before she was born, and my daughter went into preterm labor about a week and a half before that. And, when that happened, we knew we were kind of on call, and that she could go anytime. So I actually had, to be honest, between basically 3 trips that I missed during Christmas, plus those that were around Thanksgiving, I actually have had about 5 trips I had planned that I wasn't able to get to. But you gotta put family first, no matter what. I'm sure you guys understand. You would do the same. But now I'm back out here, guys. It's on. Actually, I mentioned earlier in the video that I had to take my daughter to a doctor visit. Well, it was her 6-week visit, so she's cleared now. She's planning on going back to work and taking care of business and taking care of, you know, what she needs to do. So in good shape there. And I'm back out here, guys, where I need to be and where I belong, and, you know, sharing with you guys and trying to build this YouTube thing, guys. I'm sure we're going to make it bigger and better things, like I've always said. But yeah, the sun is actually starting to go down. If you notice, we have a building back here. That's where this campsite's at. I mean, it's just off the side here. I think this is one of their well, not construction, but like, you know, where they keep their service vehicles and such, because they have supplies over here for like maintenance and stuff. It's like a maintenance building, and they do have quite a number of trucks over there. But the sun is actually just a tenth of a degree above that building. So once it goes behind that building, it's going to get cold. Actually need to go ahead and get my watch. My watch is actually on my arm, and it says 67. And my hands are actually starting to get a little chilly. Probably going to have to get my gloves on, and it probably won't be long. The poofy jacket's going to come out, and my thermal pants are going to go on. So I'm taking the watch off. Like always, you know, same watch I've had for a while. It says 68 right now. We're going to set it down right here. Got it sitting right there on that log. Basically, that's the seat I made myself for this trip. I actually cut that log. Oh yeah, just to show you guys, this is the log I cut with my saw. I think that's probably about as big as you're going to be able to get with that saw. But hey, I mean, that's a pretty nice sized piece of lumber there, guys. I mean, honestly, that's bigger than what I would probably burn in the fire. There's really no reason I would ever have something that big, unless I would have to have a bigger axe to split it, which is maybe something I'll eventually invest in for winter camping. Like I said, I'm in for the night now, though. I mean, I've got what I've got, and however long it lasts. The one problem, I believe this is like an older forest. A lot of the logs that are down, the down trees, I mean, it's been picked over for one, I would think, but also what is still around is rotted and not very conducive for a fire. I mean, this stuff will burn okay, but a lot of it's real soft, so I don't, honestly, I mean, it looks like I have quite a bit of wood there, but that's why I gathered up so much, because I figure a lot of that's just going to burn right through real quick. I do have some nice pieces in there that are kind of, you know, still pretty stout, but there's quite a few of those that, I mean, they're on the verge of rotting. They're like right next to it, you know. I mean, they're soft, you know, even when I cut them and chopped them, you know, even as I split them, I mean, they were just more busting than actually splitting. Yeah, that sun is going down. I kind of wish I could have grabbed just a little bit more to have that extra hour or so worth of wood, but of course this stuff might burn better than I'm thinking it's going to. And if you notice, kind of, you know, I have it smallest to largest. You know, I have my pine needles as kind of my tinder with the shavings a little bit. That should light up real well, and then of course I'll add my sticks. You know, and I won't add all of these, you know, because I'll save some of those, especially like once I cook dinner. I'll have it a little bit lower. I can add some of these to get it built back up higher. Then I have my split wood, and there's quite a bit of that. And then of course all this is solid, and I'm just going to add the solid and keep that rotating with some of the split wood. And if I have to, I can step over and actually split a little bit of wood real quick. I really don't think I'm going to have to, because if I can get the embers really good and hot, that stuff will burn, and it'll burn decent. You know, we'll see how it goes. A lot of that stuff, I mean, I was afraid if I'd split it. I mean, some of it was just busting open. I had one piece up there that just kind of just disintegrated when I tried to split it. That's why I figure this stuff's going to burn pretty fast and pretty hot, but it won't last long. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if it only lasts maybe 3 to 4 hours. So, and that's about double what I had at Brookville when I was over there at the lake, the last trip I was on. That's also double what I had at Mohican, and I actually had a fire going for 5 hours there. So it's not very good wood. It's real soft, and there's quite a bit of pine in it too. Pine burns quicker because it has the resin, but it burns hot, so, you know, give or take there. I'm going to get some dinner going shortly. Amazingly, I'm actually kind of hungry. I think, you know, I'm not used to not eating quite as much. You know, when you're at home, if you get a little twinge of hunger, you run in and you grab a snack. You know, for me, it's like an avocado, or I get, you know, some carrots and celery, or, you know, some pieces of cheese and some almonds or something. You know, just, you know, of course, you know, some people go get their chips. You know what I'm saying. You go grab that snack to kind of curb that hunger till you get to dinner, and that's kind of what I've been doing. And it used to be when I was on trail, and even when I wasn't on trail, I'd gotten to the point where, you know, I would skip that extra snack there. And, you know, luckily I haven't gained much weight. I only put on 5 pounds in the last 2 months where I wasn't on trail. I did do a little bit of exercise at the house as best I can. We do have a treadmill that we've kind of piled up. We're going to get that cleaned off, and I'm going to start using it. Jenny said she's going to start using it because she's actually planning on trying to do a little bit more hiking this coming summer and such. Hopefully she'll get the chance. Of course, you know, she has a very important job, like I've always said, and she busts her butt at it. She's really good at it. I'm proud of her. She's really something to be married to, guys. But anyway, like I said, we're gonna go ahead and get off here. We're gonna get some dinner going here in a little bit. I'll probably check back with you probably about the time it starts getting dark. I think I'm gonna listen to a little bit of music. It is coming up on that 4:30, 5 o'clock hour. Jenny will probably be calling a little after 5, so I'll be off the camera most of the time when I'm talking to her. I may check back with you a little bit here as it gets cooler. We'll see what's going on, guys. Well, just like I kind of figured, guys, sun started dipping down behind that building there, and it got cold. When I first set my watch out, I gave it about 15 minutes. That was roughly at 4:15, and at 4:30, you know, it gave me a decent reading. It was showing 43 degrees, which is still a comfortable temperature, but the wind was starting to come in a little bit. That was what was kind of chilly at the time. It is now 5 till 5, and if you can see, 36 degrees, guys, 36.8. So literally in 25 minutes and the sun going down behind that building, the temperature dropped 6.5 degrees roughly. So that's pretty intense. I'm hoping it doesn't continue to drop like that, because if it does, I'm gonna be very cold tonight. You know, once I get in the sleeping bag, I'll be comfortable, but I was hoping not to go in there at 8 o'clock, so we'll see what happens. Of course, I get the fire going, get a little bit of warm food in my belly, things like that. That'll definitely improve the situation and make things a lot better, so we'll see how it goes. The forest is very pretty. Like I said, it's coming up on dusk. You got the little bit of sunlight on the top of the trees there. That's really cool. I'm actually a little bit warmer now. I do have everything on but my poofy jacket. I have a pair of long Under Armour type. They're Rawlings, but they're pants underneath my hiking pants now. And of course, I've wore this heavy duty flannel, or thermal. I mean, it's rated to 15, and when the wind's blowing, it gets a little chilly. So could be interesting. I'm kind of eager to see how far down it does get before I go to bed, and I'm gonna try to set an alarm for like 6:30. That's probably when it'll be about the coldest. I want to get a good reading on that. I probably won't get up then because it'll still be dark, because I still feel pretty good. I felt pretty good coming in today. I mean, even though it was only like roughly a mile, it was like 0.8 of a mile, but I didn't notice any of the nagging, I don't feel good, all the packs pulling on me and things like that, like I used to get when I first started hiking. So, and that was a pretty heavy pack, because dinner, when you see it, guys, you're going to be like, you carried that in? I know. It's gotten dark. It's a little after 6 now, about 6:10. I've got fire going, kind of small right now initially. That's because I've got my steaks on there, and the aluminum foil does have my roasted vegetables. It's going to be the side dish. So hopefully we'll have some steaks shortly, then I can get that fire going up, get it a little bit bigger, get it warm. It has gotten chilly. Let me take a look here. We'll look at the watch. It's showing 31.6 now, so not too bad, but not great either. And like I said, it has gotten dark. Do have a new light on my camera here, so it kind of helps us out at night and get a little bit better video for you guys at night. So I'm hoping to get this fire going and get it a little bit bigger than it is. Steaks are looking kind of good though, if you can tell. They're about ready to be flipped for the first time. Probably another 5 minutes or so. If I can get the fire built up a little bit better, it'd be kind of nice. But so far, I've got it where it's at. So, moon is out, really bright. I think it's about 95% full. So I think it's like 2 days it'll be full, actually completely. And I do see Venus out this way, really cool. I might try to get that with the camera, the phone here in a minute. I don't know if it'll pick it up through the trees because it likes to focus on the foreground and not what's behind it. So, oh, there we go. Now we got the fire kind of kicked up a little bit. Should get those steaks done pretty quick now. Hoping so anyway. It's about 7:15. It's gotten pretty cold. It's 28 degrees now, according to my watch. And got the fire going pretty decent. It's warm as long as you're right on top of it. It's not providing a lot of warmth. That wood isn't the greatest, but it's what I've got. Yeah, it's not too bad like right here, but you step away from it, it gets really chilly pretty quick. Should have maybe done a windbreak or something. I mean, there's no wind, but it would have been a reflector. Could have reflected it back this direction. Really didn't have time for all that though, and wood was kind of scarce around here that wasn't rotted, so. But it's not a bad fire. It's okay. Like I said, it's about 7:15 and really chilly. Got done with dinner about 6:40, roughly maybe. That's pretty good. Those 2 steaks and the veggies, they turned out really well. Other than the onion, it was really strong, so I kind of didn't eat all of it. I kind of tossed like 4 or 5 little pieces down here in the fire and burned them up. They were a little rough though. Yeah, like I said, the fire's okay. It's not great. Try not to build it up huge and like waste a bunch of fuel all at once. Then I'm out at like 8:30, 9 o'clock. So I do have some bigger pieces that's going to be going on there here in just a little bit. That I'm hoping once they kind of break open and get down into the actual wood outside, away from the bark, that maybe they'll put out a little bit more heat, a little bit more fuel, so we'll see how that goes. But I figure I'd just give you an update on the temperature and what's going on throughout the night. Like I said, I did get done with dinner. That was really good. I was really hungry, so that's cool. And yeah, woods are still quiet. Nothing really going on. A lot of cars going up and down the road out this direction. And somebody's dog barking out that way. Well, guys, it's about 8:45, 15 to 9. Yeah, starting to get a little bit lower on wood, if you can tell. But I'll still probably get a good hour or so worth of wood, which is perfectly fine. I was planning on probably going to bed between 10 and 10:30 anyway. I built the fire up kind of a little bit larger just to get some extra heat in the area. Feels really nice. The temperature has stagnated. It's leveled off pretty good. It's sitting at right about 28, so not too bad. I'm sure it will go down throughout the night, but it's been at 28 for the last hour or so, so it's not like it's had that major drop off that it was doing earlier, which is awesome. These gloves, this is my new wool gloves, guys. Has the mitten, but it also folds out where I can use my fingers. It's really nice. I prefer these. I mean, people have their own preference as far as gloves, but I prefer these because for me, if I put my fingers in true gloves, I don't know if it's a circulation thing or what, but they tend to stay colder. These I love. Of course, it helps their wool too. They stay really warm. Yeah, that fire is really nice now. But yeah, it's been a peaceful night. Kind of quiet. I really, in this particular instant, wish I would have brought in my chair. It would have been an extra 2 pounds, I know, but that log is not very comfortable. It's too low to the ground. It's kind of hard. Even with my sit pad, it's just not great. And I think a lot of it has to do with the cold too. You tend to get more achy in the cold. I think if I'd have brought my chair in, I'd have been a lot more comfortable tonight. So, lesson learned, probably in the winter, unless I know for like for a fact tomorrow, if I'm at site 2, hopefully I can get the site there itself, the actual fire ring and everything. I can, one, have a bigger fire, which this is nice. I really don't like having it this high, but I just wanted the warmth, so I'm keeping a really close eye on it because, the leaves, I did push them back a good 5 feet or more, but just a good stray ember. Of course, everything's kind of damp, so I don't think that's going to happen, but it's always better safe than sorry. But this is the only time I'm going to build it up like this tonight, and that's just to get a good bed of coals to kind of finish the night out with the rest of the wood. Yeah, it's nice and warm right now. It feels good. I mean, I don't care if I carry my chair every trip I go on, but this trip I would have been a lot more comfortable. For one, I could have got the chair closer to the fire. I think that's the big thing too. I could roll that log over there where it's so low to the ground. Without a backrest, it's hard to get up. I think a lot of that has to do with the extra clothes I have on. I'm a little bit more constricted. I have a larger jacket than this. This is what I normally wear. It's a large, but with the extra layers, it's a little constricting. So I may go to the extra large jacket that I have and wear it for during the winter if I'm gonna have extra layers, because honestly I could have actually used another layer up here. Tomorrow it's actually supposed to be colder, but I'm hoping to have a better site where I can be closer to the fire and build it bigger, so I should stay as warm, probably warmer than I did tonight. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I got this fire kicking right now. Like I said, it's about 15 to 9, so I could probably build it up, honestly, probably like this twice more. And I think that's what I'm going to do, is let this die down, then rebuild it back up a couple of more times. And then as it's starting to die that last time, I'm just say, yep, bedtime. That's probably going to be a little after 10. So that'll be awesome. So in the tradition of things, the last few videos I've kind of come up with the idea that, I ask you guys a question each night that I stay over, just to kind of get to know you guys a little bit better, and you get to know me because I answer the question I ask. My question right now for you guys tonight, kind of in the theme of things, what is your favorite cold weather, winter, it could even be fall or early spring, cold weather backpacking, camping / trip, whatever, kind of tell just where it was, and give a little description. Nothing major, 4 or 5 sentences, that's all you gotta throw out, just whatever you feel like doing. For me, this has been a pretty good trip so far, but I can't count this one yet because I haven't completed it. Lord knows, I might have somebody come in the site at 2 o'clock in the morning. We know that theme. We're not doing that this year. That was 2019, 2020. Nobody comes into my site. Anyway, guys, probably my favorite cold camping trip. I have a couple from when I was younger, but I think my favorite one, honestly, was probably when Shane and I went out to Zaleski it would have been November of 2017, actually. It was the last backpacking trip I had that year. And we went out to Zaleski and stayed at Site 1, just a quick overnighter. I think we left Saturday morning, stayed overnight Saturday night, and come home on Sunday. But it was a really good trip because it, for one, the hike in was really cold. It was fun though. We were really prepared for it. I think it got down to like 19 or 18 that night. Shane was in his little Stan Sport Boy Scout types pup tent, and of course I had my hammock. I think I had my cocoon at that point in time too, so my hike and bike black cocoon, so I was really warm. He said he stayed warm that night, and it was a really fun trip because we did stakes over the fire. I did have trouble getting the fire going because there had been an ice storm literally 2 days before, well, like literally a day and a half before, and everything was pretty much frozen wet, so I had trouble getting it started. But once I did, we had a great fire, had a great night, and it was a full moon. Now, I don't know if you've ever been out after fall, basically. You know, after all the trees have dropped off, all the foliage is gone, you know, everything's gone on the ground, everything's dead and dormant. If you get a full moon, which I'm actually very close to that tonight, I'm at 95%, so this is a very similar idea in what I'm experiencing here. Literally, you could actually sit with your fire going even low, keep the fire real low even, and you could see the entire forest, because the moon is so bright up above, you can see the entire forest, and that's kind of what I'm experiencing tonight. And I experienced that then with him, and it was just a blast. You know, it was so pretty at night and everything. And of course, the next day we got up and it got into like the 50s. So it was, I mean, I can't really say that was a cold weather, but you know, the first day, I think the high was 33, and the low, like I said, it got down to 18 or 19 degrees. So it was a cold weather trip. We just got lucky with that second day where it was warm, and we hiked out and really had a blast. I mean, it was so pretty that day too. But at that night, like I said, with the full moon, was just really, really awesome. Just so brilliant to be able to look. And unlike here, where we were camped at Site 1 at Zaleski, it was pretty much flat. You could see, you know, a quarter mile on the ground almost. I mean, you had shadows and stuff, and it wasn't perfect vision, but yeah, I mean, it was nice. Here, you know, I've got massive hills, and of course there's a building up here, but it's still nice. So, but I think that was my favorite trip. Of course, I have video of that. You know, there's 2 videos up. I think they're listed as Backpacking Zaleski in the fall or the winter, something like that. And it's from 2017. It would have been posted probably, I don't know, maybe May or June of 2019. So go check those out. It literally is just me and Shane going out on a backpacking trip together, and it was really fun. So, but definitely guys, comment down below. Let me know what your favorite winter camping trip was, you know, your cold weather camping trip. Because the thing is, I have seen it snow Halloween. One of the last years we were in my hometown in West Virginia, we actually got a blizzard on Halloween. It snowed a foot and a half. So it does happen. So, you know, it doesn't have to be a winter camping trip. It's just a cold weather trip, you know. Something where it got below freezing overnight and you still really had a blast and enjoyed yourself. Looking forward to hearing those comments, guys. Love sharing my stories and hearing your stories too. The fire has kind of collapsed, and it's pretty much everywhere, so I've got to tidy it up a little bit so it doesn't bounce out of my fire pit. Don't want to start a fire. But now it is really warm. I mean, I'm standing 4 feet away and I can feel it. This is what I really kind of wanted all night long. This wood just wouldn't support that, because if I'd have done this, I'd have done it like 4 times and it'd been done. So, because this wood just, it was on the verge of rotting. But it's all I could find. I dealt with it, and I've stretched it, and it feels good now. And I did cook dinner over it. I had those steaks and those veggies, so it was cool. Yeah, it's getting on about 9:30 now. Really chilly. It's about 25 degrees. Yeah, not too bad though. I'm actually enjoying it. I'm digging being out here in the cold. I don't know. I wasn't sure if I'd like it. I've not really been super cold camping like this, other than the one time at Zaleski, which that was fun. You know, I'm by myself right now, so that's the true test, is when you're out by yourself and if you still have a good time. Yeah, I'm not minding the cold too much. I mean, yeah, granted, if it was another 15 degrees colder, I'd probably be like, yeah, oh no, I don't want to be out here. But yeah, at 25 degrees, even 20 degrees a little bit later, probably, I'm sure I may even see upper teens. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not. It's not bothering me any. I've got the equipment, the clothes. As long as my sleeping bags hold up, I'll be good. I really kind of regret not bringing my cocoon, because I'd have been comfortable no matter what in it. I could have probably stripped down somewhat and been even more comfortable. But we're going to try what I've got, and if it don't work, I'll know for future reference. And I will honestly, if I see temperatures like this, because like I said, I wasn't supposed to see below 30 tonight. That's the whole reason I didn't bring the cocoon. I just got to learn to realize, when you're in the woods around water, I'm next to a creek, you're going to see temperatures lower than what they're calling for in the nearest city. Cities, because of the asphalt, they retain heat throughout the night because of the, the blackness, the darkness of the asphalt, and, the, like say the roofs of the houses and such. Just the ambient temperature there stays higher than being out in the woods. So, if they call for 30 somewhere, I'm like, it's going to be 20 in the woods. So that's what I'm looking at. But yeah, I'm still having a good time. Not too bad. I've kind of got everything stowed away. Still got my food bag to put up, which, the bag's up. I just got to put the food in it and get it hung all the way up. Other than that, yeah, I've got my little tripod. I kind of like doing this, because I use the tripod sometimes to record anyway. But just as a setup, and I hang my little lantern on it right beside the tent. That, yeah, I kind of dig that. And then when I go to bed, I move the lantern inside, the tripod inside, hang the lantern inside the tent until I get ready to go to sleep, and then turn it out, and I'm out for the night. So, it's kind of a double function. I'm probably going to build the fire up. I've got it pretty good right now. If you can't tell, it's pretty nice. I'm gonna let that kind of die down, and then I'm gonna rebuild it one more time, pretty good. And that'll probably put me well into the 10 o'clock, almost 11 o'clock hour before I go to bed. Figure I'll brush my teeth. I'm going to get a little snack because I know, I'm not feeling it right now. I think it's the cold, but I need something to eat before I go to bed. Otherwise, I'm going to wake up at 3 o'clock and be starving. So I'm figuring if I've got some cheese blocks in there and a couple of pepperoni sticks and some beef jerky. I figure between the three, I'll kind of half what I've got and kind of just snack a little bit. I've got a bottle of electrolytes sitting there. It was 24 ounces. I've drank about 12 of it already. Figure I'll drink the other 12. Even though I'm out here and I haven't been sweating, doesn't mean I'm not burning electrolytes. So I figure it'll make me feel better in the morning. And I'll figure I'll eat that, get the bear bag up, just relax for a few more minutes, and then I'll be in bed. I may not go to sleep immediately, but I'll be starting to get good and warm. And it being up since 4:30, I'm sure it won't take long for me to pass out. So once that happens, that'll be awesome. It's kind of clouded over a little bit. It's like a hazy type cloud because you can still see the moon. You can still see some of the brighter stars. It's what you get in the winter, that haze, which is it's just really pretty. There's even a kind of a halo around the moon right now. It's not one of the great big ones you see sometimes, but it's a smaller one, but you can see the refraction of the light coming from the moon through the atmosphere to your eyes. And it's pretty cool. It's bright white nearer the moon, and then it's red and gold about a degree away from it. So it's really cool. And other than that, yeah, it's been a pretty good night. Still hearing a lot of cars out on the highways and stuff. But we're going to let this kind of die down. I'm going to stoke it back up, put the rest of this wood on here, enjoy that for a few more minutes, then we'll get in bed, guys. It's about 11 o'clock. The fire died down. I made sure it was out pretty good. There's a few embers, but for the most part, it's out. So I'm looking to rest really well tonight. I think I'm gonna be kind of warm in here, and sleeping bag feels pretty good. So I'm looking forward to a nice hike tomorrow, and going to check out some more of this park that I haven't seen before. I'm gonna show it to you guys. I'm looking forward to that as well. So for Living the Grand Adventure, I'm Kevin. Hope you guys rest well. We'll see you on the trail in the morning. Good night, guys.